Hello everyone, I'm Bihan Chakraborty and today I'll be discussing problem number 454 from LeetCode, that is 4 sum 2. So this is February 2022's day 3 problem and it's a medium level problem as you can see. So let's get started. So in this problem we have been given 4 arrays num1, 2, 3, 4 and we have to return all the return the number of tuples ijkl such that the sum of ith number from nums1, jth number from nums2, like that the sum of four numbers equals to 0. Okay, so this is the question, like nums1 of I, nums2 of j, nums3 of k plus nums4 of l. So we have to use each index from each array, like we cannot take two elements from a single array, we have to take one element from each array and get the sum as 0. So the approach is very simple. Now let me go to my editor here. Okay, so suppose I have x plus y equals to 0. So what are my possible values of x? Now this can be infinite, but the way what can be possible value of x? It can be only minus of y, because only then I can write minus y plus y equals to 0. So if I have y, that means my x will be minus y. So for any given value of y, x should be its negative. Okay, so suppose I have two arrays nums 1 and 2 initially. Okay, so this is 1 and this is 2. So suppose I take two numbers from here. Let me call the numbers I and j. Okay, I and j. Once summed, it becomes let me denote it as x. So if I have x and suppose I have 3 and 4 here, the third and fourth array. Now we can check for every index of k and l using two nested loops. We can check that which element sum is negative of x, like it should be k plus l should be minus of x. Now only then I can say that x plus like I plus j plus k plus l equals to 0. Only then I can say that, right? So what we will do here is that initially calculate all the possible sums from the array 1 and 2. Okay, we will use two nested loops and we will like check for with 0 with 0, then 0 with 1, 0 with 2, then 1 with 1, 1 with 2, like that. So we will have all sums of all the indices. Then we will store that in a map and store its frequency as well, and I'll get back to the frequency after a bit. So once we have that stored, then we can again do a nested loop in 3 and 4 and check, like for every sum k plus l, we can check whether there exists a sum in 1 plus 2 like 1 and 2 as well, like there exists a sum k plus l which is equals to negative of I plus j. We have to check that in the hash map, and if we have that, we can simply write that our answer variable answer plus equals to map of like hash map of that key, map of negative x. Now why we are writing this? Now let me like you can, one can argue that we can use sets here as well, right, to store only the elements, and why need the frequency? That is because suppose there's a test case, just give me a minute. Yeah, so observe these cases here. Let me zoom in. Yeah, so these are the four arrays, and let's consider 0 of num1, 0 of num2 with 1 of num3 and 0 of num4. So let me write that 0 comma 0 from num1 and num2, and here 1 comma 0. Okay, now we have minus ones here. So let me show another possibility. Now I choose minus 1 here again and minus 1 this one, but this time I choose the second one from nums1. So it will be 1 comma 0, and I'll keep the ones as same. So 1 comma 0. So as you can see, there are two possibilities here. But if I store this in a set, then it will store only unique elements, so there will be only one, so the count would be 1, but I need the count as 2, so I need to keep the frequency of the same thing. So that is why we are using a hash map. So let's take a look in the code. We have an empty hash map initially. Okay, so first of all, we traverse the first two arrays, that is nums 1 and 2, and inside that I just increase the counter. So it is equivalent in C++, is equivalent to hash of nums 1 plus nums 2 plus equals to 1. In C++ it's like this. Okay, so I'm just incrementing the counter of this key, nums 1 plus num2. Now after this is done, I initialize a answer variable. It's a counter variable that will store our answer. Now we traverse the arrays 3 and 4, nums 3 and nums 4. Inside that we check, first of all we sum nums 3 of I and nums 4 of j, and then we make it like change its sign. So if it's positive it becomes negative, and if it's negative it becomes positive. Then we check whether the inverse value exists in the hash map or not. If it exists, then we just get its key and sum that value, because we sum that frequency to the answer. So suppose here nums 1 plus nums 2 equals to 5 for some instance. Now while I am here, if nums 3 plus nums 4 becomes minus 5, okay, suppose I get minus 5 through here, so my key would be minus 5 into minus 1, that would be equals to 5. So now we will, now since nums 1 plus num 2 was 5, it was already in the hash map, right? So since it's already in the hash map, and now we can check whether this 5 after it's inversed, we can check if this 5 exists in the hash map. Now if it exists in the hash map, then we will increment the counter. We will increment the hash map of 5. We will increment it by the frequency of 5, right? So this is the problem. If you have any doubts on this problem, please comment below. I'll be glad to answer all of them. I'll try my best to clear your doubts. And if you have liked my video and my previous videos, please like and subscribe to get further notifications on upcoming videos. And I am creating a whole playlist on the February long challenge of LeetCode. So I'll be uploading videos every day. So make sure you subscribe to get notifications. And yeah, as usual, see you in the next video.